Vlog 100. Where have I been? The answer, kind of lost. I've just been all over the place, and you guys know I've been on like this self-wellness and just bettering myself journey ever since this video here. For the past year and a half, I've been head down grinding, like not picking my head up for friends, family, important relationships in my life. And these past months, I've been really bringing myself back on that path, back towards figuring out myself, where I'm supposed to be in life. Where have I been? What have I been doing? I went to the celebrity poker tournament. Insane opportunity with Poker.org, some high level stuff. I've been building an online poker platform, which I'm so excited to come out because this company actually cares about the players. I mean, let's be real, with everything going on nowadays, there's plenty room for a beautiful new platform to come out. I played on Poker Night in America again, going on TV, CBS Sports with some of my best friends and Andrew Neeme. But man, most of all, I've just been enjoying my days, soaking up just all the goodness in life, smiling more, laughing more, spending some time with friends that I missed out on in these past year and a half, figuring out what makes me happy, doing way more of that, journaling, strengthening my relationship with God, reading the Bible every single night. And to be honest, it's really tripped me up that this is Vlog 100. I've just been taking these past few months to reflect on my journey and just figure out what I want to do in the future, where I want to take this channel, myself. I wanted this vlog to be perfect, but in realizing that there is nothing perfect in life, I just thought if I came on here and I was real, I talked to you guys, it would be perfect. You always just got to do things from the goodness of your heart. I hope you guys always see that I'm just a good person. But without further ado, I'm sure you guys are sick of listening to me ramble. I'm back, baby. Let's recap a super high stakes for me, session that we played a long time ago, 10, 25, 50. I played one of the craziest hands I've ever played. All in all, I'm just learning to love life again, the beautiful, peaceful nature of life. And that's all I want to do is just spread love, positivity, because at the end of the day, listen, it's morbid, but we all die and nothing matters. So just enjoy every moment you have. Without further ado, let's play some poker. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we are buying into this game for $3,000. Some others are doing 5 or 10, but didn't feel like losing 20k. You know it's going to be a big game when they bring out the $500 chips just for buy-ins. Am I ready? I don't know, but let's just jump right into it, right? And wow, we're getting right into it, wasting no time. We look down at King Queen suited. Like I said, 10-25, there's an open to 75, one call, and the hijack 3-bets it to $300. Immediately leaves us in a weird spot. I don't feel like folding King Queen suited. We're on the button. I put in the 300, hoping that the initial raiser does not 4-bet squeeze, and he doesn't. He just puts in the call, and the other caller makes the call as well. So right away, we're going 4 ways, 4 people putting in $300, 1,200 in the middle, dealer one time, and bang! We flop the flush with an open-ended straight flush draw. Wow, what a welcome to this 10-25 game. The action checks over to me, and I don't know what to do, so I check it back. Praying for no diamond, no board pair, that's exactly what we get. Okay, the initial raiser checks. The second caller decides to bet out for $300 here. And now the 3-better puts in the call. What is going on? I don't think we can raise here. I'm trying to hold back my smile, giving the absolute greatest Hollywood act of all time. Like, oh yeah, I guess I'll have to put in $300 here. I take out 300, put it in the middle, expecting us to just see a river, hoping it doesn't pair. But wait, the initial raiser doesn't fold. He doesn't put in the 300, and he starts going into the tank. And I'm like, what the heck is this guy about to do? The initial raiser now check raises here to $1,500. What is going on? We flop the second nuts with an open-ended straight flush draw. Am I getting cooler? That creeps into the back of my mind, but I'm just jumping for joy. The double check and check raise is slightly concerning, but now the first player who initially bet 300 starts counting out his chips. I'm like, oh my goodness. Is this flush over flush over flush? What the actual heck is going on in this very first hand I played at 1025? But when the two other players think about it for a really long time, and when it's back to me, it kind of leaves me in another weird spot because we bought in for 3,000, we lost a little bit, we had about 2,700 here. So if you subtract the 600 that we've already got in the middle, we've got 2,100. Am I just gonna flat call and leave myself with $600 behind? No. Does look super strong for me to go all in here, but is he ever folding? No. So I decide to put it in the middle, pause, and I'm hoping we don't get snap called and shown the ace high flush. And thankfully, when we go all in, the initial raiser's like, oh, what did I get myself into? So it seems like we could have him drawing absolutely stone dead. And that's the case when my opponent shows also king queen. Of course, no diamonds. He's drawing stone dead. We run it twice just for the heck of it. It's my dealer, Alex. Sorry, buddy. Feel bad that I did it to him. It's his birthday. That's why he put together this 1025 game. But oh my goodness, a full double up right away. We are up a little bit over $3,000 in the first hand. Can this session go any better? You'll just have to stay tuned to find out. Side note, is there literally any better feeling in the world than raking in like $8,000 of chips? Definitely not. So we play some more hands here and there, and actually a couple of Alex's crypto friends came through, and I always give my seat no matter if I'm up, down, because I play so much all the time. I just want everybody to have a good time, so didn't mind. Nobody at the table minded that I was up a little bit. Sat out for a couple hours, didn't really get much going when I got back in the mix. The game ran super late, so I actually only jumped back in at like 2 a.m. for like 2 hours. So I really only played for like 3 hours. Booked a profit of $3,300. Feels amazing. Happy to be back, but that's not it. Don't go anywhere because we're recapping a full 5-10 session. I'm back. Can't just give you guys one fucking hand. Let's get right into it, baby. All right, the first hand of the session is against my boy Rick here. We've got the pocket jacks. We're playing 5-10. There's a $25 straddle. He opens it up to 75. We're in the big blind. Gonna be bumping this one up. We make it $300 flat. The straddle thinks about it for quite some time and agonizingly folds. Not sure what he's got, but Rick flicks in the call. So we're going heads up to a board of 7-4 deuce. Pretty damn good. He checks it over to me. We're gonna see bet on this smaller side here. We make it $210 and he makes the call. So we're going heads up to a turn. It's a 9, a pretty good board here. Flush draw comes in, so when he checks, gonna size up a tad. Well, actually, kind of a lot now that I'm realizing it. I bet $550. Don't think I need to go that big, although I would be betting this big with like ace queen of diamonds, ace king of diamonds, etc., etc. But he pretty quickly tosses it away. First win in the books against Rick in this 5-10 session, moving in the right direction. And now the next hand against Rick, we've got the pocket aces, so seems like we're coming after him today. $25 straddle, we open it up to 75, get 2 callers, and then Rick in the small blind bumps it up to $500. Music to my ears. Obviously could flat in position, but gotta mix it up. Can't just flat with the aces every single time. Sometimes when you jam, you gotta have them. So I decided to jam my 2200 in the middle. To me, it just didn't seem like he'd be folding to any sizing. Seems like he's got a super strong hand. But when the two other players fold and it's back on him, after he gets the count, he says, I've got 6 high.
I have 6 high. I'll call it 24. Hey. 2440. If you don't tell me, I have to fold.
I'll let you. You can pick one of these.
No. This is what I have. Just tell me.
You have 6 high?
Yeah, 6 high.
I'm ahead of you right now.
Yeah, but
I have a very He does throw away the 6 high. He gets in the mix. Shout out to Rick. If you guys don't follow him, he makes great content on Instagram, YouTube. Puts in that work. Big tournament grinder. Kills it in the cash game streams as well. But getting the best of him today, and on to the next hand. And now we've got the pocket kings. Seems like we're just playing premiums, jacks, aces, kings, but sometimes when you get dealt, and that's just how it is. I mean, I could show you the 6-8 suited and other hands I play in between where I just call a raise and fold, but That would be pretty boring, wouldn't it? Anyways, we open it up to 75 over straddle, and we get 2 callers, one being the straddle. We see a pretty good board here. Queen 7-4 with 2 clubs. We do not have the king of clubs, which may or may not come into handy later in the hand. Straddle checks, I see bet for 125, and now the caller immediately raises me to 350. Straddler folds, and definitely could put in another raise, but don't need to fast play here. Interesting, us not having the king of clubs. Definitely could have him having something like king 10 of clubs, king jack of clubs, and raising here. Pretty reasonable, but I decided to just move forward with a call. Going to a turn which I do not like, the 6 of clubs. Like I said, we don't have the king of clubs. If he's raising with either value or a flush draw, everything's beating me, so I check it over to my opponent, but he decides to check it back. Could be checking back with the ace high flush, the nuts, and, you know, just letting me either catch up or, I don't know, or he could just have nothing, could have been raising with a bear queen, and now he's kind of scared. Who knows? Headed to a river, which is interesting, the 9 of clubs. 4 clubs out there as the initial raiser here, and him just flatting pre-flop. I do think I'm going to have all of those ace of clubs, king of clubs, jack of clubs, all the high clubs. I look at my cards, I don't have the king of clubs, but I decide let's rep it anyways, because it would be pretty disastrous if you had something like queen 9 or queen 10 with like the 9 or 10 of clubs and we could get them off of that here. Well, obviously the 9 of clubs is on the board, but you get what I'm saying. We are still beating some of those one pair hands that were just raising to see where they're at, but anyways, I decided to fire out for $425. Like I said, repping that king of clubs, and my opponent gives it a small thought before throwing in one of those side calls, which means we're probably beat. I say you've got a club. He says yes, showing queen jack with the jack of clubs. Interesting that he went for the flop raise here, but to each their own. Value own myself, think I played this one pretty bad. Let me know what you guys think. I don't know, maybe I'm being too hard on myself, but on to the next one. Alright, well, we are getting dealt, and kind of to mock us, I guess, we get dealt kings with the king of clubs. As you see some white buttons out there, we're playing the stand-up game, but sitting down because we're degenerates, of course. And I do not have a button, which I think does come into play in this hand. We're on the button, there's a $25 straddle, there's an open 280 and a 3-bet to 225 before it's even on me. So, being that I don't have a button, I think I can jam and kind of not really get credit, just looking like I'm jamming to appear strong to take down my button and not have to pay out the stand-up game. But of course, we've got pocket kings, so that's what I do. I jam my about $2,000 in the middle. It's back on the initial raiser, and he pretty quickly goes all in himself. The way he did it, and the way that this player plays kind of tight, which is kind of why I thought I could get him off the last hand. It's the same player from the last hand. I kind of felt like I was screwed here. So anyways, the other player, the 3-better, makes the fold after getting a count of the chips, and he shows pocket aces. Nice. Absolute disaster. 2 hands in a row. Could be losing with pocket kings both times. Can we hit that king on the run out? Dealer, please. We see the flop. We see the turn. And we see the river. No help. Gross. We lose all of our chips in 2 back-to-back hands with pocket kings. Absolute disaster. Alright, we rebought $2,000, and let's come back to playing against our buddy Rick. We look down at ace-jack offsuit. I open it up to 75. Rick puts in that 3-bet again from the small blind to $400. A nice, meaty pause 3-bet. I'm in there, just got stacked, so you know what? Screw it. Time to loosen it up. Win some money. Rick's only in town every once in a while. I stake in the 400, and oh my god, we flop the sack. The absolute nuts. What a better feeling after getting absolutely smacked. The poker gods felt bad for us. We are primed to make a lot of money. Rick should have so many strong hands on this board. And he continues here with a c-bet for $200. Super small, but should be c-betting small on this board. I just take in the call. There's not even a flush draw out there. Don't want to scare him away. The turn, absolute disaster. An ace brings in any jack as a straight, will probably slow him down, and that's exactly what happens. He checks, but now I do think I should bet here. Kind of, you know, betting small, setting up like a pretty small river jam so that he'll probably have to call with like ace king, ace queen, any sets. So I bet $450, and Rick pretty quickly makes the call. I'm loving it. Praying the board does not pair on the river, and it does not. It's a 6. He checks to me again here on the river. Nothing to do besides go all in, obviously. I jammed for about $1,100. Probably should bet a little bit more on the turn so that this river jam is a bit less, but Rick thinks about it for the longest time. I feel bad. I've been getting him in every which way tonight, probably taking about 2,000 or 3,000 already from him. If he makes this call, probably about 4,000 from him. And after the longest time, he sticks in the call. I showed the ace jack. He mucks, says nice hand. He's always a good sport about it. He's lost way more money than this, won way more money than this. Good dude. Like I said, give him a follow. We're out of that hole from before, and let's keep it going. We play late into the night. As you see, it's 2 a.m. and the action was pretty crazy, but we win another hand with 10-8 suited, get a little pots here and there, and our buy-ins on the left, our profits on the right. We are in for 4,000, out for 43.20, so we make $320. Can't complain with all the ups and downs. All right, wrapping up the edit to this video. 2 profitable sessions. I am just thrilled to be back. Shout out to you guys for always watching and supporting the content. Gonna start pumping these bad boys out again. Thank you guys. Have a great week. Peace out.